Good day, everybody. This is BA Radio Dawn, and I am finally back after a very, very long hiatus. I'm sure. I can't remember the last time I uploaded a video. It might have been like a couple months ago for SD. But you know what? We're not talking about SD today. We are talking about A Hero Rises, because that's coming up. The voting for that starts on the 1st. But it's not just me doing this today. I've got a good buddy of mine, Gackupo. Say hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, so me and Gackupo are going to be kind of looking over the colors, and I've got like multiple, I've got like a handful of picks from each color as to who would probably be the best to be, if we were to do a mono banner, who would be the best units to put on it. And as I'm sure everyone knows, I'm not much of a big mono fan, but if I can get quality and quantity, I'm sold. You guys will have my votes if we get quality and quantity, but that is very hard to do. Anyway, so Gackupo, how do you think this is gonna go for Hero Rises? Like, what are you hoping for? A mono color banner, split banner? What are you hoping for?
Well, I expect the community go and find a way to find a single color banner. If not on the top 4, probably on the top 8.
Yeah, because what we did get last year was like a losers banner that was better than a Hero Rises.
Yeah, it was.
Like, that banner was fire. Like, that banner went insane. I liked that banner more than a Hero Rises because it just completely chewed it up and spat it out. But that's not how it should be. I personally believe the Hero Rises banner should be the best units possible on it. And this is our one opportunity to craft the perfect banner. And like, last year it was Peony, Dimitri, Alir, and Claude, right? Now,
Claude, yes.
Peony, top tier.
Yeah, Peony was probably the best that we got there.
Oh yeah, because she can multiply anything. And to be fair, I do like the combination of having Dimitri and Peony on the last year banner, because you can give no quarter to Peony to multiply it.
Yeah, that was a very good option that we have.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that I'm going to be talking about later on, is like these little combinations of things you can do that kind of act like that, right? Because if we can like combine and merge the perfect system using the banner, then we're like golden. If we could create our own fodder chain, we get the unit with the fodder, we multiply it with another unit on the banner, that's like top tier quality right there. So like Dimitri being on there, Dimitri was a solid unit at the time, but like most of his selling point was no quarter. That skill was crazy back then, and even now it's still pretty damn good. The other two units were nothing to really like cheer for. Claude was already dead on her, like by this point. When it came to the voting, Claude was already dead. Because the Byleth.
Yeah, because we had Winter Byleth.
Yeah, we had Duo Byleth. So Claude was a non-factor on that banner. He was the worst summon you can get. And Alir was not much better.
And he was facing Camilla.
Yeah, he was against Camilla. Camilla would have been better, but whatever. And then the other one was Legendary Female Alir, who unfortunately was power crept by Legendary Male Alir. But granted, that was right before the voting or something. Oh no, I think the Legendary Male Alir banner dropped before the cutoff time for A Hero Rises, I think. So like, she got power crept. Yeah, his banner came out, I think, during the voting process, so he was not votable. But because he came out before the banner came out, that instantly killed her on arrival. So granted, that's not really her fault, but yeah.
Yeah, she was really good when she debuted. So she wasn't like really, really bad, but yeah, it came at the bad time.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be like looking at each color individually, talking about like the unit choices that are there. I did up like a top 4 graphic or top 5 graphic for each color, but there's still other units that could have been on there. It's just off the top of my head, I'm like, what are the best units of each color?
Mm-hmm.
And let's get it started, shall we? So we're starting off with the red units. So honestly, red was probably the hardest color I had to come up, like I tried to do for like even a top 5, because red is not that great this year. Not gonna lie. Like, I had to really be like, I don't know. Is this unit really the best red has to offer? Maybe. So anyway, when it comes to like the red units, obviously like the best of all of them is Mythic Snake. Nidhogg?
Yeah,
I believe her name
she's
is?
annoying.
Oh, she's a top tier unit. Like, she's the best
She has a lot of flat PRs.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost hard to crack her.
Yeah, like I had to really I had to do a lot to figure out how to do it, but I managed to, luckily, but it was not an easy task. For the red units, I also got like Christmas for Modus, because he's got a shield fighter, and I think he has Briar far save. Like the far save that like
Yeah,
you
I
attack
think he has the attack defense priors.
Yeah, and the Briar is a new system of saves, so maybe that could come in handy in the shield fighter. So I put him there as fodder. The Snake is just fantastic. Hector's a really solid far save as well, because he can give some buffs and he's a far save. And if you did like a combination in like SDS of like him and Ymir can have Barricade, so you've got Bulwark, Barricade, far save, which is a really good combination, and Miracle. Well, no, you can't have Miracle and that, so it's Barricade, far save, Bulwark, which is a really good combination to have. And like he's another armor who can multiply skills, so that's always handy. Yeah, I've heard that the duo, or not duo, I guess technically harmonized Nagi is like a top tier near save, which is funny because I do that for Pawns of Loki. Like, I've heard that it's almost, with the right team, I don't know what that team is, but with the right team, it's nearly impossible to crack her. And I'm like, damn. Go red dragon armor. I like my red dragon armors even more now.
Yeah, and also, do you remember what's her dual harmonized thing?
Not off the top of my head, but I could find out in like 10 seconds. I remember it being solid, I just can't remember what it is. But in the meantime, Lumera is just a really good infantry dragon. She can multiply dragon skills and she can multiply infantry skills like firm Canto control. So that makes her a really solid option too.
Oh, I got it. She gave +6 attack and resonance shields, neutralizes effective against dragons, and guard bubble. Oh, she also heals and neutralizes any penalties that she and the team have.
That is a stacked set. This skill can only be used once per map though. But still, warp, bubble, resonance shields, neutralize effect against dragon bonuses, neutralizes any penalty, and heals is insane.
Yeah, I think the only harmonized that self-refresh is the one that we recently got with Marisa, so the harmonized are not very good with their skill reactivating.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I was struggling for a while trying to figure out a 5th red unit, because I started off, I'm like, immediately, Snake and Hector. The other 3 slots for the graphic, I had a hard time trying to figure out what to do. So I was like, okay, Lamera for, like, fodder chaining. For Modus, because he could give, like, Hector shield fighter. So I have that little combo going on there. And then, like, the Snake, who could also fodder to Hector to multiply her B slot. I think it's Slick Fighter for. So, like, every color I try to do a thing where I try to combine things to make it as easy as possible to get, like, a bunch of fodder all at once and multiply it. So, like, there's a lot of armors in the red just because of the fact that, like, let's say it's Hector, Snake, Nagi, and Formotus, right? You're multiplying Shield Fighter, you're multiplying Briar, you're multiplying... You can't multiply Dragon Scales, unfortunately. But you can multiply their... like, Nagi's save skill. You're multiplying Slick Fighter, and you're multiplying everything that Hector has himself. So, like, that's a good chunk of fodder off of, like, one banner. Like, that is, like, an ultimate combination.
Yeah, this is mostly a what's it say? Armor focus.
Yeah, and because of the units that are on it, you can customize them too, right? Like you could give Slick Fighter to Nagi possibly. You could give it to Hector. You could like move skills around really easy, and like they're all top. Like they're all pretty good save users on their own. In general, but like all combined and being able to multiply their skills is just insane. The only other reds that I came up with after the fact, because we're not counting brave units. That's one thing I'm going to get out of the way now is we're not counting brave units because brave units come by all the time. Brave units.
Yeah.
Brave units.
I feel like this should be about the seasonals, the mythics, the legendary, the emblems, the rearm, and the attuned.
Basically,
heroes.
Unlimited things. Nothing in the main pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like, why would? Yeah, no. It makes no sense to me. It's like, it would have to be a god tier, like top best unit in the game in the main pool to be even considered for me. Like I'm talking about all the stuff that's really hard to get typically. So like one of them that I didn't have that I thought of, and I talked to Gackupo here before doing this video before we started recording was Aided Dogger, because the aided system works is like every time you summon that unit, you get a little jewel thingy.
Essence.
Yeah, you get an aid. I'm just gonna say you get aids. So every time you summon them, you get aids, and you can get as much aids as you want if it's on if it's in a Hero Rises. So like Aided Dogger, realistic. Let's face facts here. Regan's doing nothing. We're just looking at Aided Dogger right now because that's all we have. So like Aided Dogger would be a really solid
we have Aided Regan, but I don't like.
No, she's not doing anything in any meta. She's just there. I think she's not. I haven't seen any.
Yeah.
I've seen an occasional Aided Regan in SD, but even then it's like Aided Dogger is just so much better as a unit.
What Aided Regan offers is the same skill that Duo Lucina has, the Shadow Shift. No, that's not the name.
Shadow Force? I think it is.
No, I think I have it on my notes.
Shadow Shift.
Yeah, it was Shadow Shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, like, that's okay, but that's such a niche skill. But then we look at Aided Dogger, who not only gives aids, but she gives firm Canto control. Canto Curb Stomp. That is insanely good fodder right now.
She also gives reposition gate. I think she's the only one that has it.
Yeah, she's the only one with reposition gate too, and that's going to be a top tier repositional pretty soon here. Once we're able to get more Dogger, that skill's going to be everywhere because it's just like, it's not only do you repo, but you also Canto after it. So especially for like cav lines and everything that run Dogger, you can if you can multiply gate, you're golden. Because now you're like repositioning and then you Canto ahead of that.
It has a restriction. It's on infantry and I think armors only.
Yeah, that's true, but let's face facts. Right now we're kind of getting into a meta where all infantries are calves. So
yeah.
But no,
yeah, they have 3 movement and 3 canto and
like Aided Dogger is a really good option in here too. And honestly, I would pick her over. I would honestly pick her over
Lumera.
She combos with Lumera. It depends. You could go like Lumera and Nagi and Dogger and Snake, or you could go Hector, Snake, Nagi, Formotus. Those are like the 2 ways you can go about like a 4-unit mono red a hero rises. That's about the only ways you can do it, or it'd be optimal, but it is possible. Can you think of any other reds, or is there anything you'd like to add on the red units?
I want to ask you, what do you think about legendary Melches? Because he is an annoying unit that I personally have to face on Arena. That's the only place that I can always find him. And like he has warp that cannot be blocked. He has pass with his warp, and he can to tap you because he has brave attacks. He doesn't have the amazing skills, but he's I think a strong unit. Like his father is like full smoke, Rupture Sky, and attack speed finish. So his father is not that amazing.
Yeah,
but I think that as a unit, he is like decently strong.
Yeah, like one thing that you could do, which would be very funny to do with him, is because he can't be blocked if an ally entered combat, and he could warp to them. What he could also do is like, what is it called? Lookout Force, where it's the foul play.
Yeah.
So like he can warp in with like if you have a solid frontliner, like let's say you have Brave Alphonse rushes in, bops a unit, and they don't have a unit in range that could kill Brave Alphonse, but now you have Shez warping in, deleting a unit, swapping with Alphonse, putting him in the front again, and being like, "Yo, fight me, I dare you." Like that's a little tactic that is actually funny that I never actually thought of until just now. And I'm like, that's actually not bad.
Yeah, his C skill is really open, so he can use the Lookout Force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a lot of the units that I chose or that I had in mind can do multiple things, right? Like Hector's a save and a fodder factory. And it's like the more things that unit can do, the better, the higher chance they should be on a Hero Rises Monarch, right? The problem with Shez is like he's an amazing unit. He has next to no fodder that's really all that helpful at the moment. Like the Pulse Smog is cute, but it's, for some reason they locked it to daggers, and when it comes to daggers right now, you only really like you'd probably rather run the foul play swap C skill over this. It's like he basically has no fodder. He's just a really solid unit. So like he's a contender, but he's not like, I wouldn't say he's top tier, but like I could see why people like him, because especially like in let's say SD, if you combine him, if you put him on the same team as a really strong frontliner that could warp like one of the snakes, and then you put and that's on the same team as the Tree Man, that is dangerous, because then you have a Shez who can warp in, kill anything basically, and then swap with the snake. So now you have a snake in your face. So like I could see situations where Shez, maybe Shez is a contender. He's probably like, let's see, I've got 5 on the screen. Dogger is 6. I would put him at like top 7 red.
Okay, so I have another red, but I know she's not like a really strong unit, but it's Ninja Tarja. I consider her like a really strong support with the Anathema's status that debuffs the enemies with speed, defense, and rex.
Yeah, it's basically and like she also has multi-rain, yeah.
Yeah, and she has amazing fodder that is Sly Swift Sparrow and Resonance. So you can fodder that to any of your magic units if you don't really like her support.
Yeah, like right now, Sly Swift Sparrow is one of the best A slots we have in the game for a lot of units. Ninja Lucina wants it. Brave Crom could use it really well. Legendary Crom could use it really well. A lot of ranged units would love the Sly skills. So like in terms of and like here's the thing. I know for a fact that Lamera can duplicate it because I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm. As a unit, I'd say she's not as good as she was when she came out, but her fodder is really freaking good. Because what was her B slot? Do you remember?
Resonance. The magic
Yep.
VR thingy.
Yeah, Resonance is really solid too. Like honestly, she's good. She's good. She's definitely in the conversation too. I'd say. Like if we were to look at like a top 8 all reds, it would be the 5 on the screen: Dogger, Shez, Tharja. I could easily see that being a thing. Like the Marth ring is handy, but like it's niche, and Marth as a unit is not that great.
No, no, he didn't age well.
If we are able to vote for Ira though, that changes things. Like if we could vote for Legendary Ira,
definitely.
Legendary Ira is. I would put Legendary Ira right after Snake, maybe after Hector. Like it'd be between Hector and Ira for top 2.
I don't think we are going to be able to vote for her. And if we do, right after that.
I mean, we'll see. I hope if she is votable, that changes things.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we're just going with what we do know for now, for sure, what we can do. So, yeah.
Yeah, she breaks the shield fighters, especially the melee ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a really good contender if we are able to vote for her.
So, question. Assuming, let's say not assuming Ira, what would be your top 4, like, a Hero Rises Mono Red banner? Who would be on it?
Mono Red banner?
Yeah.
Definitely the Snake. I think I would go for Attune Hector.
Yeah.
For Mortis, and I think I don't know if I should go for Dagger, Ape Dagger. That would be my top 4 for me personally.
For me, honestly, I would probably for sure Snake. So we agree on that one.
Yeah, definitely. She's like strong and annoying.
I would probably say Hector, Snake, Lamera, and maybe Dogger. Honestly, because just a combination of things that I could do with that, because I could have Lamera multiply Gate and Kanto control, and then I could have Hector multiply Slick Fighter and the Far Save. So like I could kind of mix things up and do like create.
No, I think they share the same Far Save thing. I think this Snake and Hector have the same savior.
Well, okay. Well, if they do, then that's still the Snake has to be on it though.
Yeah, definitely she has to be on it.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on to the blue units, unless there's something else you wanted to add.
No, I'm really fine with what we have said.
Yeah, so like I said, the red was the hardest one for me to come up with 5 units for, and even then I'm like, is this the best I can do? Now blue's a different story.
Not that different, but because we still have the stupid Snake.
The blues are a lot easier to come up with as to like who are the top units in the game, and a majority right now are blue. And the funny thing is, pretty much all the ones on the screen are all Engage. So, first off, Celica as a unit, not that great. She's solid, but we need like a pass seal or something, and then she can get going.
No, she doesn't need pass.
She doesn't need pass. She needs killing power, and that's her main flaw right now. She can't.
Yeah, she needs killing power.
Yeah, maybe now with Marissa, she can quad. That'd be kind of funny. Warping Celica that can quad and just try to blow stuff up. That's doable. But yeah, so like Celica's there mostly for her ring, because her ring makes the snakes OP. Her ring is what made Felix go from beast to monster. Like,
yeah. That's a game changer. Ring skill.
Like, quite literally, Celica's ring changed how we build SD teams. Just because of the fact that now we have to make sure we have anti-warp on every single team. Because we have no idea who's going to have that ring. Is it going to be Felix? Is it going to be the Snakes? Is it going to be someone else? Like a brave Alphonse warping in your face and smacking you is terrifying too. Like, we have no clue who's going to have that ring. So every single team, her ring single-handedly changed how we build SD teams. Like, flat out. Her ring is so OP.
I mean, not only SD, she's a menace. Well, her ring is a menace on arena and ether rates too.
Oh yeah.
Especially ether rates, because it's like a small map that it's probably tall, but not that much. You can use Felix and go boom.
Yep. The Alliers are there because I've heard that they're like really, really good. I've used them for like a brief minute, and they were okay. I just don't think I used them to their max potential. Because like I had them on a team with Legendary Chrom, but after the Lin Ring, so basically I swapped Tharja for the Alliers. Because Tharja is nice if your opponent gets close, but the whole point of this is to halt your opponent from getting close and snipe from afar. So Alliers can support Lin Ring users really well because they give them extra stats during combat, no matter the distance. But meanwhile, Tharja's on the other hand, she's for trying to tank. So it's a very interesting dynamic that those two units are like polar opposites. But like the Alliers are really, really good. They can be very difficult to get through. Like they're solid units. The best part is Somi's in the art. Somi.
Yeah, Somi. Somi's really cute.
Tamara's there because she's like one of the best frontliners in the entire game right now, especially with some of the skills that we recently got. Because I think she'd be a good Legu's loyalty user. But like even before, at least
she already had a good friend.
Yeah, and like honestly, even before then, she was one of the best tanks in the game, and she changes how the like calculations work just because she's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna use my defense as attack, and by the way, it's like, what is that, 150%, 200%? It's insane.
I think it's 150% of her defense.
Like, either way, she's absolutely an insane unit, and I'm not gonna lie, part of why she's in the discussion for me is just pure bias because I need more. I only have the one, and I need more than that.
Yeah, she has what's her Echo? Time Pulse?
Yeah, Time Pulse Echo, which is very, very nice too. And then she comes with like Breath of Life 4? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Breath of Life, Lego's Friend, and I think Speed Defense Finish 4.
Yeah. So like she's basically built right from the get-go. She can multiply Legu's friend/loyalty, and she's one of the best tanks we have. So overall, she's a stellar unit, honestly. Like, and if we're talking blue, she has to be in the top. There's no way around it. We're gonna get to the obvious one last. We're gonna talk about Sigurd. Well, Sigurd's pretty obvious why he's there too. He's a crazy frontliner.
Oh yeah.
He can combo with Marissa. And like he's like one of the best Cavs in the game right now. I would still say Brave Crom's better because Brave Crom has more killing power. But like with Marissa, Sigurd gets close. And like Sigurd's an absolute monster with that wide range AoE plus Gale Force plus like Fatal Smoke plus he's insane. And then his ring also gives
he really writes the AoE.
Yeah, like he's single-handedly the best AoE melee nuke there is. If we're just talking pure damage output, no massive supports like Brave Crom gets, Sigurd's the best.
Yeah,
and I love my Brave Crom. But like his ring gives extra movement and Canto, which is insane because you could do funny things with Pathfinder teams with that ring, or you could give it to a frontliner, like a melee frontliner, like an infantry one, and they can move an extra space. You can give it to a cav, and they can move an extra space beyond what they normally could. So like,
unless they're range cavs, because they don't get any.
Yeah, melee cavs. But like honestly, he's good. I think he should be in the conversation as well. But not as much as Snake number 2, because if one wasn't bad enough, a month and a bit later, we needed a second Snake.
It wasn't probably a month. It was probably a couple weeks at most.
I think it was like a few days short of a month, I think.
Yeah.
Either way, it's funny as hell that we went from Red Snake to be. We're like, oh my god, she's too OP. And they're like, wait a minute, what's that? You wanted another one? Here you go. We're like, no, please don't.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just happy. And the Snakes also have changed how people make SD teams, because you have to make sure, can I handle Snake? If yes, good. If no, ban. Like, it's as easy as that. You need a Snake killer on each team just as much as you need anti-warp. So blue units have really changed the meta. Like, at least for an SD, they've absolutely ripped the meta to shreds, because now you got more things to consider. I don't think Red did that. Red has not changed SD meta in terms of what it brought to the field in the past year. But like, Blue definitely has. Is there any other blue units you could think of that we should discuss?
I think, let me see my notes. Maybe yes, maybe not. Oh, you play SD more than I do, so I want to ask you, what do you think about young female Robin? Like the duo.
Baby Duo.
Baby Duo.
Baby Duo just got outclassed by the other like Chroms and Lucinas. Like, that's the thing. Like, the baby Robin is still good. The nuking power has gone down a little bit. Yeah, it's tough, because like they're good. They're still a solid support, but Ninja Lucina just buries.
Ninja Lucina is the top refresher.
The thing that you need for all teams, for SD, for like SDS anyway, is a refresher. 100%, you need a refresher. And we have Mythic Hathrin. We have the new Duo Hathrin, but people are finding a hard spot to try to slot her in for. We've got Ninja Lucina. We've got Brave Chrom. We've got Legendary Chrom. And I would put all those units above Baby. I would say Baby's in the middle of the refreshers. I would say it'd be like the 4 or 5 that I mentioned, and then Baby female, the Baby Duo, and then like Rearmed Lucina, and then like, well, actually Rearmed Lucina might be above now, because apparently there's a fun AoE thing you could do with Rearmed Lucina, and you could deal like tons of damage. But like, definitely better than Rearmed Chrom.
Oh yeah.
So like, the Baby Duo's like near the bottom of the refresher pile. Yeah,
okay.
There's actually honestly no other blue units that I could think of that would be even close in the conversation. Maybe Athos if he's votable, but again, we don't know, because Athos is blue, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's blue.
Yeah, and like, I've heard Oblivion say, like, put up a build that he could break the snakes, but I don't know if that's max or not. But apparently he could do it.
What I can say about Athos is that I think his special is like the DR piercing special for mages. So that's, I think that he has, for what's worth. I have two units that I would like to hear your opinion.
Okay.
The Ice Tribe Fiorm.
Duo Fiorm, yes. I would still say one of the top saves in the game. Just not so much because of survivability now, but because of the ice terrain. The ice terrain with that wide of a range for 2 turns is really, really, really good. Like, I cannot stress how good that is. at least for SD. Like, it's phenomenal. So yeah, I would put her in the running. I would put her like for sure in the top 8, 100%.
And I mean, she was the one that brought Shield Fighter, so that's also a thing that she's good at. And what do you think about Bridal Sharina? Like, she's a 3-turn unit. Like, you can give her Gale Force, and like she has a way to self-refresh, and her dual button she refreshes. So she's I think a 3-turn unit. Do you think that she's lacking power behind, or
You said it was whom?
Bridal Sharina?
Bridal Sharina.
The one with the duo, the one with Sharina and Veronica.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was thinking of a different Sharina. The Cav duo.
Yeah, the Cap duo.
They're solid, but they're not really used anywhere necessarily. Because like they were good for a hot second, because I think they came out before Sigurd did. But the second Sigurd came out, it just murdered their usage. Because Sigurd does their job just better, I would say.
Okay.
Because like
yeah,
their gimmick was like, hey, if you attack, with another unit after we moved, we'll refresh ourselves. And Sigurd just says, I'm gonna blow up people and then refresh myself and make them kill me, otherwise someone else dies. Like the duo Sharina was really solid for sure when she was released, but I'm not sure if I'd put her in the top. Well, I guess I'd put her in the top 8 of blue, but I would not like to see her on the banner, I don't think.
Okay.
Oh, one other unit that I forgot to talk about when it came to Reds, very, very briefly, is a lot of people are hyping up New Year Tana. Like, a lot of people are saying New Year Tana is, like, top tier in the Red category. And she's a demote.
Oh my goodness.
But that's why I'm not even mentioning her until just now, is because she's a demote. She should not be in the conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, but like, she's a demote. There's no reason for you to vote for her.
It would be like putting...
Like, if you really wanted her, you should have throw some orbs to get some, like, chance, because she was the 3 and 4, no, the 4-star focus, so if you really wanted, you could have gone for her. There was nothing stopping you but orbs.
Yeah, my thing on her is like, having her on the banner would be like having a 4-star special on the banner. Why would you do that? That'd be like, hey, I want base Edelgard. It's like, but why?
I mean, people have done that.
Actually, let me rephrase for a quick second. That would be like having Fallen Edelgard, because I think Fallen Edelgard's in the 4-star special pool now.
I mean, they have done that twice.
But, do you have anything else to add for any other blues, or we're moving on to green?
I just want to note Ninja Celine, because she is...
Yeah, I've actually forgot that she was a thing. I haven't seen... I think I've ran across her once in SD, and I'm pretty sure I just like insta-killed her. But it's more so I'm more so insta-killed her out of fear, because I didn't know what she was capable of, and I did not want to find out.
No, she's mostly a support. She has the same effects that Atun Micaiah has. The cleansing, the penalties, the healing on the enemy turn, but she has a higher range than Atun Micaiah. That's the only thing that she has over her.
Yeah, I've heard that basically between her and Mickey, I think it's like Mickey can just warp people around, and then she's got the infantry skills. Basically, it's the main difference. They're basically the exact same thing, just Mickey.
Yeah, they're the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's why I brought her.
Yeah, no, I would put her in the top 8 for sure.
Would you like to see her on the banner?
No.
Well, I guess that we could lead into the final thing. If you were to have a top 4 blues, what would it look like? Like if the banner would be mono blue, what would be your choices?
Definitely the stupid snake.
Yep.
Definitely Secret. I think Timera.
Yep.
And I will vote Fjorm. Mostly because of the shield fighter, because I don't have any.
Yeah, that's fair. Shield fighter's a really good skill. We need more shield fighter. That's why I want, like, if Formotus won, team him up with an armor. If Fjorm wins, team her up with an armor. Like, please, we have to get those combos going, otherwise it's gonna be brutal. But me personally, I would say the same, dang near. I would stick with the Sigurd, Snake, Tamara, and then I think I might go Celica, just because the warping ability of the ring is just overpowered. Like, again, Celica as a unit, not that great, but her ring, OP. Her ring can combo with anything. If you dance yourself, guess what? Ring. If you have Gale for, like, if you dance, if you refresh yourself, ring. If you're a frontline tank, ring. If you're a Felix, ring. If you're a snake,
that
ring.
reminds me. Summer Goldberg. Like she's not blue, but that just reminded me that she is a prime user for well, I think it's the prime user for like Celica ring, because she gets
dance herself, but then she's locked to one movement, but with this she could just warp around. I actually I do that tactic for Mjolnir's strike with her on the top of the screen and that little area by themselves. And then it's like kill, warp, kill, warp, kill, warp. It's very entertaining. And like you can do the same thing kind of with ether raids as well. But like as a unit, I wouldn't think Gullveig would be in. I don't think Gullveig would be in the banner. Her fodder is dang near non-existent, and as a unit, I think she struggles to kill now with basically with the snakes and maybe Hector too. I don't quite know, but she'd need a lot of support.
Definitely the snakes.
She'd need a lot of. The problem is the snakes. If they can't kill the snake, they're not a top tier nuke. And if you're gonna try to range attack, you need to kill the snakes. But
that's really hard to do.
Oh yeah, you saw me try to figure out how to do it with the legendary Crom, and I had to do a lot of crazy stuff. So let's go on to the greens, and green was also really easy to set up. Like, the greens are probably the easiest color to come up with 4 or 5 units for me. Because like I got like Emblem Lyn, just Emblem Lyn. Do I need to say more? The common users for Emblem Lyn are duo Ninja Lucina, for one. Basically, any ranged unit who can kill the snakes is Lyn's best friend. That's all there is to it. Like I have Lyn Ring.
Atom Bridget, right? She also kills the snake.
Not all the time.
No, all the time?
No,
oh wow!
I personally need to use legendary Crom to kill the snakes because Lyn cannot. No matter what they do, legendary Crom is an absolute god tier unit right now. I'm not saying Hero Rise's god tier unit, but he's damn good. But like Emblem Lyn is a really, really solid unit. If you team her up with the Snake Man, or if you have another ranged unit that can kill the snakes, then she's a really good partner. Give her like her other best friends are like Harmocatria / Harmocardelia. Just because being able to quad with Desperation is busted. But yeah, like Lyn is is really dang good as a green. She's better. Her ring is better than she is, but not by much. That's the insane thing. She's a good unit. It's just her ring is a bit better. It's not like Celica, where it's like the unit's like but the ring is really good. For Lyn, it's like she's good and the ring is awesome. Like it's like a next level above Celica. The new unit, Harmonized Marissa, I put on here specifically because being able to support quad a unit, and then like if the supported unit dies, it just bounces to another unit is insanely good. You can set it up on your team where every single turn, if a unit dies, you have an immediate fast unit that can quad again, and like that looping is insane. You don't need to stay in range technically, like not the 2 spaces range. You could have like you could be on the other side of the map and still quadding. That is insane, and they are a pretty good nuke as well. So like Harmonized Marissa is really freaking good, and like I last SDS I ran. Well, actually, I figured out to do this after, but my plan is to run Harmonize Marissa with Brave Crom and swap out Nergal. That's my plan. I'm actually going to take out Nergal and add in Harmonize Marissa just because she's that damn good.
Oh, wow.
What's her name? Hresvelger?
Yeah, Hresvelger.
So like she's a really good melee nuke. She could bust through damn near anything on her own. Unsupported, she could damn near kill anything. It's insane. Like if you see her on the battlefield in SD, you gotta run, or you have to like bait her and then kill her, or hope you kill her. It's insane. She's so good. Attuned Mickey is another unit who can use the Emblem Lin Ring very well, actually, because Attuned Mickey can kill the snakes, and that's like what you need in a Farsafe Buster for a Lin Ring right now. And the last one is Attuned, I believe it was Bridget.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's another one who can bust through the snakes. So like you got like 2 snake busters, Lin, a unit who could help them all quad, and then just a really good melee nuke. So like, yeah, it's green is stacked right now. Green is really stacked. Is there any other greens you can think of?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I want your opinion on Mythic Hadron, not the New Year's, the Mythic.
The OG.
The OG, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at her, and I was contemplating it, and I'm like, I was torn between her and the New Year's bird, because I was like, God, that support, like, one's a frontline nuke, one's a frontline tank, and it's all depends on which you value more as to which one's above the other. I would maybe put Mythic Hathron over Hresvelger, just because of the ability to refresh units and the support capabilities. She could tank and support, and that's really valuable right now. So I might actually put her above the bird.
Hresvelger?
Yeah. I might put Hathron above. Just because Hathron's just really difficult to kill. Basically, when you're trying to construct, if you want to see if your melee nuke can kill, you test against max supported Hathron and max supported Tamara. If your melee nuke can kill them both, you're fine. Like, those are the top 2 frontline tanks right now. If you can bust through them, you can bust through anything. You're good. And meanwhile, it's Hresvelger. It's like, if your unit can tank her, you're fine. But I don't think there's a unit that can. I haven't seen anyone be able to tank her.
Okay.
Do you have any other units, possibly?
This is more of a personal thing that I wish to see, but not exactly hope. Tune Erika.
Okay.
Mostly because of her null C echo, and like if she can vantage, which means that if she can outspeed, which is a different thing that can happen, she can vantage, and like she can, well, she's a tune, so she can make more of her skill, which I think is Gus. The distant bonus doubler, which I mean it's not that good, but the null C is the thing that I like to get.
Mm. Yeah, that's fair. I don't think she'd be in the like. She might be in the top 8 best choices, but I strongly don't think she'll be in the top 4. Like, I would not place her above the quad team of Bridget, Mickey, Marissa, Lynn. Like, I don't think she's beating that. That's pretty okay.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's fair.
Like, she's a choice. Basically, any attuned unit, any attuned or rearmed is a solid choice for top. Just because they're fodder factories. Even if you don't like the unit, even if you'll never use a unit, you can just duplicate skills. That's what makes them so damn valuable. That's why every single graphic so far has had at least 1, if not 2 on there. It's just because they're the top choices of their colors. Just mainly, not only are they good units, but they could duplicate really good skills. Like, again, we could have Bridget here multiply, or I guess technically, I think Irika's infantry as well. You can have them multiply Firm Canto Curb. You can have them multiply just a bunch of stuff. It's so good. Infantry has a lot of really good skills.
Mm-hmm.
What would your top 4 greens be?
Oh, Bridget, Emblem Lynn, Harmonic Marisa, and Mythic Hadron.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go with Lynn, Marissa, Mickey, Bridget. Like, those 4 are just OP. They're so good. They're good supports, great units. They're just amazing. And going on to the last color is colorless. So colorless was another one where I had to like scratch my head and be like, who do we even have? Like, right off the bat, I came up with 2 units and then I'm like, but what else? Like, the first ones I chose was Tree Man, obviously, and Duo Lucina. But then I'm like, what else has colorless done? There's like no other colorless units that are really remotely meta right now. So I was like, rearmed Grima to multiply higher ground or barricade, as well as save skills. Layla for funsies, because her undefended is kind of funny, but it's not that great. It's just,
I mean, you can get her for her lookout skill. Like, it's a really strong skill.
Yeah, like the fact that she's an infantry rearmed or tuned is good. It's just as a unit, And then like I got Duo Hathor in there just because I'm like, I feel like she's like, yeah, it's like, what else could I possibly? Is there anything else I could possibly beat her? Like, that I would put in her spot? I'm like, no, not really. Like, I actually had colorless was the hardest one for me to do. It was like colorless, then red, then blue, and then like green was the easiest. But like colorless is the hardest because right off the bat, off the top of my head, I'm like Ninja Lucina, Tree Man. Then what? I have no clue. And I had to do some digging. I'm like, what are our best options? And I'm like, I don't know. But like, we got Grima, who can multiply any armored or dragon skill, including higher ground, which is fantastic. A save skill with anti-warp. Officially every dragon or beast armor unit can now be a Valentine's Myrrh.
Yeah. That's funny.
And that's the main reason why Valentine's Myrrh is not even in the discussion at the moment. Is
it's not even in the picture.
Valentine's Myrrh does not exist in this scenario because now Grima can just multiply and make all of them Valentine's Myrrhs.
That's sad, but that's true.
Yeah. It's like the only thing that Valentine's Myrrh has over that is the fact that Warp Bubble is a status effect. So like if you have a Crom team, it's an extra stats. That's about it. But yeah, okay, you fill me in. Is there any colorless that you thought of?
I did, but I don't think they're cool anyway.
Okay, well, let me hear what you got.
I have to.
Who?
My beautiful bride Embla.
Oh god, right? Yeah, you know what's bad? If we're like, bride Embla? Maybe. Honestly, the sad thing is, I might put Embla above Layla. Like, those two are bad out. Because Embla provides cooldown support to a support partner.
Yeah, that's why I brought her.
That is valuable.
I like her cooldown support.
It's basically cooldown support. Well, to be fair, Layla could do that too. If you stack HP, you could do like an infantry pulse setup, and then you could also do like if just for humor's sake, if you did like an HP high freaking Layla, you could do the Garrick build kind of. Know what I mean? You could do infantry pulse. You could do the.
You're sacrificing lookout.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, well you can do infantry pulse, and then like she has like infantry cooldown support, I guess. But like, she's it's tough. I might put Embla above. God, I don't know. Canto control or lookout force or whatever it's called. Shadow lookout force, yeah. Versus cooldown support and like more like AoE melee nuke. I have no clue. I have no idea how to judge this one. Those two are tied. So like, okay, I'll give Embla a pass, but like, is there any others at all? Anything?
I have Mythic Loki.
Okay, you know what, Mythic Loki. I was thinking about her too. She's like meta relevant in in a handful of game modes. Like SD, she's really freaking good, especially with the whole like being able to steal effects because a lot of units still don't have high res, and her res can go super high. Plus, you could slap a Discord on her, so she could be a debuffer as well. You could basically make Mythic Loki Duo Loki, but better. Plus, you have the ice lock or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the assist here. Yeah.
Like if you have your hands on spare copies of that and you got Loki, you're like set. You slap Discord, you slap the ice turret. Now your opponents are gonna get wrecked. You know what? I'd put Loki above Embla / Layla. So like top 5: Duo Lucina, Grima, Treeman, Duo Hathran, Mythic Loki. If you got the ice lock, I'll put Mythic Loki there. Honestly, actually, you know what? Screw it. I'll put Mythic Loki there regardless because she's just that good. Shutting down units, shutting down extra movement, and now you're also able to shut down frontal assaults is just OP. So yeah, you know what? Mythic Loki. I'd agree with that.
Hey.
So honestly, my top 4 would probably be Duo Lucina, Treeman, Grima, Loki.
You know what? I'm not going to argue with that.
That's the first one we just like completely agree on because it's just colorless are so bad this past year that like there's really only like a handful of good options, and Grima's like 2 years old.
Yeah, and she's still really good because she's a stupid rearm.
She's just a good rearm that can multiply the best skills and some of the best skills in the game right now. Like quite literally, if you have higher ground, like a spare blue snake, you can give it to Grima, pass it to Treeman, and now they both have high ground. And there is actually a very good build of like shield fighter Treeman with higher ground, and he's almost impossible to kill.
Oh really?
Apparently, I haven't fought against it, but I've seen it done, and it's terrifying. Because imagine a guy who messes up your unit's abilities to take hits, and he's not killable, or very easily killable. That's just terrifying. Oh, and you can't warp. Like, damn. You can't kill him, you can't warp to him, and your units cannot tank because all your units are swapped around. Like, that is brutal, man. Okay, so now we get to our ideal banners. And honestly, I might just change my opinion here. But like, this is what I got for my ideal banner, right? I got Blue Snake, I've got Lynn, I've got Tamara, and the last slot's kind of a wild card. I would like Micaiah, just because she's a good nuke, and I think people need that, but at the same time, and also, she pairs well with the Lin Ring, but also, Agrima can multiply New Year Snake skills, and I feel like that's very valuable too. Being able to do that on the banner. Like, let me put it this way. My question is, let me double check something. Let me just double check. What can Speed Taker be inherited to? Because I know it's ranged units. Is that it? Is it just ranged units?
No, I think it's like physical units. Let me check.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Okay, it's everything but magical.
Yeah.
No armor, no cav, no magic. So infantry and flyers, physical.
Mm-hmm.
So Tamara can multiply Speed Taker, and Robin can multiply everything off of Blue Snake. I don't think there's a better combination than that. Because Speed Taker is a very, very, very good skill. We got Tamara able to multiply all the infantry skills. We got Grima able to multiply all the dragons and armor skills. That's a really strong foundation. But let me hear your top, your ideal Hero Rises banner. Who do you have?
My ideal Hero Rises, it's similar to yours. I also have the New Year Snake.
Mm-hmm.
I also have Emblem Lynn.
Yeah.
Because she's busted. Those two are the most busted units that we have.
Yeah.
Right now. The other two are also archers. So I have Atun Bridget and Go Lucina as my ideal 4-man banner.
Yeah, I think you chose more powerhouses. I just chose more combos. That's the main difference.
Yeah, I chose the powerhouses.
Multiply these skills and make it the most valuable banner possible. But like, you chose powerhouse units because I think you said you got did you say Tamara or Sigurd in the beginning?
No, the snake, New Year Snake.
Yeah, you got New Year Snake. You got Emblem Lynn, and who else?
Dual Lucina. Atun Bridget.
Those four.
Yep, those four.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. That's pretty good foundations because Lynn goes on all of them, realistically, except for the snake. Yeah. Lynn goes on all of them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just the fact that we agree on the snake and Lynn being like 100% the top picks. Period.
Definitely.
100% best units possible for this kind of banner.
Can you imagine if by chance, by seeding, they are facing each other?
Oh god, please no. I want them in the ball. They're so good. They're so good. But no, like, yeah, your picks are all understandable. Because, like, you got 3 ranged nukes. And 2 of them use the 3rd one to power themselves. So you got a combo thing going too. So yeah, basically the only difference is I've got like I'm multiplying skills. You're passing along the ring. That's about it. But we're both have the same general idea.
Yep.
But yeah, honestly, I'm very curious about how this Hero Rise is gonna go. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is mainly a look at like the top units for each color. The color list is kind of lacking this year, not gonna lie. But yeah, like if we were to have a top 4, we gave our opinions on that. Like if we were to have a mono banner, we gave our opinions. Even though I don't agree with mono banner unless it's like. So this is I'm gonna do this quick little scenario, this quick little explanation as to why I don't like it, and then we'll call the video a done day. Okay. So
okay.
My thing is, and it took me a while to figure out the best way to put this, but I value quality over quantity. Like if we have like, and it's mainline Fire Emblem that taught us this lesson. You're an army of like 12 units, maybe 15 units, and you have to fight like 60, and they're all scrubs, but you still win. That's quality over quantity. So like if I were to do a tier list, I would put quality and quantity at the top. Then I would put quality in the second, and then quantity third. You can have quality without quantity, but you cannot have quantity without quality. And last year's A Hero Rises taught us this lesson. If you're gonna go mono, you better make sure it's the best damn mono banner on the planet. Undisputed. No units in the game are better than these 4. And unfortunately, it's never gonna happen. We're never gonna have a full year. We're never gonna have a year where every single, like, one color dominates 100%. That's just not possible. It's just not viable. It's not feasible. It's not quite a thing that we can do. We could easily say it's usually split between 2 colors. Like, especially like this year, it's like blue and green. The other colors are like you saw colorless. I had a hard time with red, but like colorless is just like, what the hell? We're talking about older units.
I mean, I didn't do more.
We're talking about older units trying to find points for colorless. Like, colorless is rough right now. But like, not like, I prefer, honestly, quantity and quality, then quantity, or then quality, then quantity. I like having a couple great units than a handful of scrubs. And that's what we got last year with Legendary Female here and Claude. We had one god tier unit on the banner, Peony. We had one solid one for Dimitri, and the other 2 were just scrubs. So you got half a banner as trash. What if the other half of the banner was actually good units? Then what? So what do you think, Gackupo?
Nah, I mean, I agree with you. So,
Well, we've been recording for like an hour. Sorry about a long video, everyone, but talking about A Hero Rises takes a while. But yeah, tell us down in the comment section your choices. Who do you want to see? If you are voting for a mono banner, that's okay. Let me know who you want on the banner, though. I'm very curious. Because, like, I don't want any more Wind Tribe Claude mistakes, you know? I want, like, value. And there was no value there. Anyway, definitely, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Not just to me, but to Gackupo as well. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, this is BA Rated Don signing off. Bye! Happy voting, everybody!
Bye!